Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques,
Oh,
Jacques,
oh,
what's going on, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is your way. We're here, Jacques. We got to talk about the draft. We got a lot to talk about, bro. We really do, man, from free agents and everything. Hey, how are you, sir? How are you doing, good brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Same thing, like you said, we got a lot to discuss. This is the lion season, so you're gonna hear a lot of lion and false speculations, and we're gonna draft this player, we're gonna draft that player, and 99% of the time we get it wrong, but sometimes we get it right. So this is a time for the Titans fan base, man. If you're a new Titans fan, I'm sorry. This is a roller coaster. Especially with having the number one pick. We haven't had a number one pick since 2016. So just be patient. Don't listen to nothing you hear, and just good luck.
Yeah, for sure. Well, shout out to everybody that's watching us here on Bleacher Report. If you're watching us anywhere else, it's not going to show live. It does show live on Bleacher Report. We're on YouTube, Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Apple, Spotify, Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Instagram. Man, we're everywhere, man. We're out there. You just Google Tennessee Titans Weekly. You'll see us. If you're not followed us on Bleacher Report, do that now at Lorenzo_the Hawk. And then we have at Jacques Merrill as well. So, Jacques,
yes, sir.
Let's get going. All right. So, there's been a lot of speculation with the Tennessee Titans. We know the draft combine is coming up in a few days. There's been a lot of rumors out there as far as the Titans, as far as what we're going to do with the number one pick. Mm-hmm. We, the Tennessee Titans, have more control than any team in the league right now. We are the Super Bowl champions of the losers right now. We hold the ring right now, okay? And which is a good thing, I think. You know what I mean? That's the positive of losing out, in the middle of the season. Should we win? Should we lose? This is the positive of us being where we are right now. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people, I'd say a good probably half of people out there that are actually saying for us to trade the pick or to sign a free agent quarterback over, say, drafting a quarterback. So it's a three-tier thing. Trade the pick, get a free agent, because we have free agent quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, Sam Darnold, a lot of quarterbacks that's available. Or to draft a quarterback, Cam Ward from Miami, Colorado, Shedeur Sanders. That's been sort of the conversation that's going on. So, Jacques, I have a question for you, man. When draft day comes, you are the general manager. You are Mike Barganzi. You put the Mike Barganzi helmet on right now. What should we do, man? Should the Tennessee Titans, and we got that poll question out the way, should the Tennessee Titans draft a quarterback or sign a free agent quarterback? What should they do?
In my opinion, I think we should draft a quarterback. This free agent class is, to me, is not the strongest, right? You got Sam Darnold, who I don't trust. I'm gonna be honest with you. He had a good year. We've seen Baker Mayfield do it, right? But Baker Mayfield is in the right situation. Sam Darnold was in the right situation, but I don't trust him. I think Sam probably gonna command 30 mil, 40 mil. It just all depends. He's gonna break the bank. Let me just say that. Matthew Stafford, right? You have him as an available option to trade. And you're gonna if it comes down to it, the Rams are probably gonna want your number one pick, right? 2, they're gonna want he wants $50 million a year for. You think he's 37? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Matthew Stafford's 37, almost 40.
Yeah, he's in his late 30s. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He no. Okay, so the smart thing to do is to draft a quarterback, because I'm gonna tell you why. You can grow with this quarterback. You want to go through the draft. We've done the bridge option before. We've done it plenty of times, man. We've done it with Tannehill. We've done it with Matt Hasselbeck. We've done it with Ryan Fitzpatrick. We've done it with Kerry Collins. We've done it. Can I keep going? Right? We've been on this train before. So if y'all want to keep going on the train, do your thing. At this point, it is what it is. It's not surprising. But draft a quarterback. That's for me. What about you, Hawk?
Facts, no paper. So for those that are saying to sign a free agent quarterback, to trade the first pick, or to draft another player till we can have a free quarterback, this is what I want y'all to think. Do you want these guys leading our organization? Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston, Jacoby Brissett, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Josh Dobbs, Trey Lance, Cooper Rush. I mean, do I need to keep going? So when I'm looking at Tyler Huntley, so when I'm looking at this I'm looking at the fact of you have guys that are band-aids to a bullet hole, right? You have the first pick of the draft that doesn't come around. We hadn't had it in 10 years. So if you have an opportunity to get a quarterback, draft a quarterback. That's the biggest need that we have. Defensive ends, we have a lot of opportunities to draft a defensive lineman in this draft. Plenty. And this is a draft that's deep in that position. So you can draft a guy in the second round if he's available. Draft a quarterback. This is an opportunity for you to change your organization. Quarterback is the biggest need. And I feel it's weird that folks aren't thinking that unless they think Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are just terrible, which they're not. Draft a quarterback. Simple as that. That's what the Tennessee Titans need to do.
I feel you, bro. You on point. Like, yeah. All right, let's get into it. So we know the combine has started. I think tomorrow they start the on-field drills, I think. And Brian Callahan's there. Yeah, you are. And Mike Borgonzi is there as well. And they've done a couple of press conferences. They're doing their presser. And there's some couple of things that's come out and has been said about Abdul Carter, Shedeur Sanders. Did they speak on Cam Ward? Well, they really a little bit, right? Travis Hunter. So, with from the initial talks and what they have stated and what they said, what do you think Borgonzi and Callahan want? Like, can you gauge on what they're thinking? Are you Mr. Cleo, right? If you got a lot of young Titans fans, if you don't know who Miss Cleo is, she was a lady back in the day that told fortunes. But find out she was a fraud. But right. Go ahead, put your Mr. Cleo hat on, man.
So that's funny as hell, by the way. All right. So I think Brian Callahan and Borgonzi, when you listen to them, you in their conversation, they clearly are saying they want a quarterback. That's what they're saying based upon so far on their initial conversation. Now, it could be smoke screens now, right? To puff up or pub up the quarterback position so teams could try to trade up, right? That's what it looks like could be too. But I'm going to take them at face value because when you listen to Brian Callahan, he says, you know, a quarterback is a player that he wants to have as far as somebody fit in the system and or talent. If this person doesn't fit the system, he would like to have somebody that could just come in there and play well based upon their talent. They don't have to necessarily fit. They'll fit around the quarterback. That's exactly what Callahan was speaking on. But let me tell you this, Jacques. I think Brian Callahan is speaking more on he wants a quarterback in this draft. I think Borgonzi is okay with that as well. But I think Borgonzi hasn't, and you said this earlier to me, I don't think he's talking as much. I think Borgonzi is speaking more on maybe looking for all opportunities. I don't think he's like, yeah, we're getting a quarterback. That's what we're going to do. I think he's kind of wide open to deals. And I think Brian Callahan is looking for his quarterback. And there's reasons why. You know, Brian Callahan is on the hot seat. I know he's only been there for 1 year, but man, you won 3 football games last year. And I don't think the roster was a bad roster. Let me just get that out the way. But I don't think we had a 3-win roster. So I think it's like Callahan, you get some of the blame. And, you know, Rand Carthon got fired. So, you know, you look at everybody in the organization, that's who they had last year. So I think Callahan's like, dang, man, let's get this quarterback, bro. You know, so I think the pressure's on him to get the right quarterback. And I think he looks at Shedeur Sanders like he's a guy that can fit our system. Cam Ward is a guy that can, but also can do some audibles or can change things up. And even if it's an off-script play, he's great at those things. So I think Callahan is more on the quarterback from his conversation. I think Borgonzi is quarterback, but I'm listening. Shout out to my boy Brett. I'm listening. That's kind of what I'm thinking. What about you, Jacques?
So again, like you said, Borgonzi is more of on a, which I like because he's not giving out the house. One thing that I think he said, yeah, we want to trade. We would entertain a trade, but we are not going to go off an emotional trade, right?
Yep.
It has to be something that's going to be something that is life changing, right? Or for the Titans itself. And when I'm listening to them, like we said, now like from a Callahan perspective, like you said, Callahan wants a quarterback. And I think too with Callahan, I think he kind of likes Shador. Like it's almost like
Yep.
they're giving Shador the green light and they saying, hey, you got the tools. And he keeps speaking on him with specific things, comparing him to Joe Burrow, saying
Yep.
that hey, you don't have to have the strongest arm. And he even spoke on the fact that he's not throwing at the combine. He's like, hey, I don't have to see him throw at the combine. I got tape. I've seen certain things. I've done what I do. So I feel like Callahan is a Shador guy. Berganzi is like, hey, I'm weighing all my options. I'm doing everything. And then you have Brock Lesnar, who's gonna have the last say so. And if you don't know who Brock Lesnar is, you know who he is. Hulk, who is he? Chad Brinker, right? Yep. So I think at the end of the day, they say Brinker doesn't have the last final decision. Yes, he does. Him and Amy, right? And Amy says she's not including herself. No, you got the last say so too. So I think I like what they're doing. They're being transparent, but they're not giving you the house. They're not giving the cards away. If this number one pick feels different from the 2016 number one pick. The 2016 number one pick, I feel like it was more of an emotional trigger, right? From this year's pick, it feels like they're doing their homework on each player. They're like, okay, we're going to do our homework. We're gonna figure this out. We're going to see what this is. So I got to give them credit there. So that's my thoughts on that, man.
Gotcha, Jacques. Gotcha, man. Facts, no paper, Jacques. So as we find out today, the Tennessee Titans have advised Harold Landry that he can seek out a trade. Okay. Harold Landry is, I think he's 28 years old, 29. He's been our leading sack guy for the last several years, former second round pick for the Tennessee Titans out of Boston College. Harold Landry's had a great career here. He's done great here. And, you know, given the question of him being traded, there's a lot of folks that are okay with it and some that are actually thinking this is a bad move. So I have a question for you. So you are Mike Berganzi right now. Mm-hmm. This is you right now, Jacques. This is you, excluding the Chiefs stuff. I got a picture of him somewhere with the Titans gear. Mm. Should we trade Harold Landry? And if so, you have any idea what we should get for him?
So it's just like the Bayard when Bayard went on the trading block, right? I think Bayard got traded to the Eagles, wasn't it? The Eagles,
the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles traded him. I think it was in the season or whatnot. And we at that point, Bayard had lost a step. Okay, unfortunately, you get older, you lose your step and everything. Same with Harold Landry. Ever since he had his knee injury, he hasn't really been the same, right? He hasn't had those 5, 6, 7 sack seasons that he's had in the past. So his stats are amazing. But the thing is, what is his trade value? Does any team see any value in bringing him in and saying, hey, we'll trade you a 4th round, 5th round, 6th round pick? With his trade value, I think he's a good 6th round, 7th round pick at best, right? If anybody say, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, that ain't him. Jeffrey Simmons, I can make a case for, but Harold Landry, no. He's up in the tooth. He's a little older. He's 28. Like you said, 28, 29, about to be 30. And his production value has gone down. So with that being said, should he trade him? You can try to trade him. Would you get any suitors? Probably not. You might get Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel the Patriots might come knocking on the door to say, hey, we'll take him. But that's really a suitor that I can see. I feel like the league is trying to go younger. And this draft is very deep in defensive ends. This draft is very deep in defensive ends. So with it being a deep defensive end draft, I can cut my losses, if that makes sense. So do I see him getting traded? Maybe. If not, I can see him getting cut and then maybe trying to test free agency. But it just doesn't have the value like he used to. Would I like him to see him stay? Yes, I would. But I mean, with the Brinker, I'm gonna say this, with Brinker and Rand Carthon season starting, even them last year, they're known for, with their pattern, they're known for getting rid of older players. They either trade them or they let them go. So this is a pattern. And now Rand is gone, and I see Brinker has the same thought process. So yeah, Mike Berganzi has to say so, but I feel like he's a glorified GM scout. And I think Brock Lesnar is going to have the final say so to say, hey, all right, we're going to trade him. We're going to do this. So I say if you can trade him, cool. You ain't going to get a lot for him. So, I mean, you really stuck him between a rock and a hard place. That's my thoughts. What about you, Hawk?
Okay. All right, Jacques. Facts, no paper. So I'm going to say this, man. I think with Harold Landry, I think the Titans are doing him a favor. I think they're saying, look, dude, we're not going to be a good football team next year. We're not. And you're still young enough to make an impact for a team, because Harold Landry gets you 9 to 11 sacks a season guaranteed. And he could go to a better defense and maybe a playoff team. That's what I'm looking at. Like, say, the Washington Commanders, even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even the Detroit Lions. When I look at teams that are there and defensively they need more pass rush, they need a guy that's consistent, Harold Landry will provide that. And, especially Washington, I think that would be a great spot for him. So if I'm the Titans, I'm pulling rank, man. I'm like, nobody might pick him up, to your point, maybe a 5th or 6th round pick. But I'm saying, can we get a 4th and a 6th for Harold Landry? You want 10 sacks? We got you 10 sacks. We got that for you. You know what I'm saying? We got that for you. And, he has a nice, hefty contract for sure. But if Washington is serious about making that next leap, if Tampa Bay is serious, and Detroit, you don't know what's going to happen with Aiden Hutchinson. He's still in recovery mode, right? They need a defensive end. When Aiden Hutchinson was out there, he's not Aiden Hutchinson, but when Aiden Hutchinson was out there, hey, the Detroit Lions was a problem. Now, to your point, you can draft guys too. But with drafts, you never know. So most guys that are defensive ends don't really pan out the way that we think they are, right? When they get drafted, right? So you know what you get out of Harold Landry. To your point, from a value standpoint, might get a 5th, maybe a 5th and or a 6th. But I think you can leverage as an organization, Chad Brinker, Mike Barganzi, to say, a playoff team, you want a guy that can get you 10 sacks? We need a 4th and a 6th. I think they could leverage that. I do. But it's not a guarantee. I'm not saying that's going to happen. But I think if I'm from a business standpoint, I'm doing my best to leverage. I'm trying to get at least a 4th in this if we can. And if we can't, let's go 5 and 6. I want 2 picks for Harold Landry. And if it don't happen, then let him go in free agent. We cut him and let him go. Yep.
Good thought process. So I know this topic right here really fueled you, and it kind of ticked you off a little bit. The Mel Kiper just came out with his mock draft, and he has the Titans taking the dual Carter with number 1 pick, and he has Cam Ward dropping to number 2. With that being said, give us your thoughts on this. And I know you're probably I'm gonna let you cook, I'm gonna let you do your thing, but go ahead, man. Give us your thoughts. I know you're very passionate about that when we talked about it. Go ahead.
I am. So Mel Kiper and other draft analysts, I know they've been doing it forever, and I respect that. Bucky Brooks, a lot of different analysts, draft analysts, that have Cam Ward as number 2 and Abdul Carter is number 1. Now, understand this is not a slight on Abdul Carter, because I think Abdul Carter is a hell of a ball player. But Mel Kiper, if you all think that Cam Ward is good enough to be picked number 2, that tells me that you think he's a hell of a quarterback, or he's the best quarterback in this draft for a team that needs a quarterback. The Tennessee Titans need a quarterback more than a defensive end. People can say we can build. You don't have to build with the defensive end in the first pick in the draft. Over the last 20 years, really, Myles Garrett is the only guy that's been picked number 1 and has done well as the first pick. You've had players like Jadeveon Clowney. You've had Mario Edwards. I can go on and on. Players, Travon Walker. Now, these guys aren't bad ball players, but they're not worthy of the first pick. So I challenge anybody to look at any team who drafted the number 1 pick as a defensive end and see if they made the playoffs. I ain't seen the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl and they picked up Myles Garrett, right? I ain't seen that. So why would you think one spot down of a need that you need, we need a quarterback, why would you think that we would not draft a quarterback? That doesn't make sense. I'd understand if you felt Cam Ward or Shedeur was 6th or 7th down the. I'm speaking on Cam Ward because they got Cam Ward at number 2. If you felt maybe he was the 5th or 6th best draft prospect, fine. Number 2, and you can't think to push him up at one spot for a team that needs a damn quarterback? That doesn't make any sense. That's kind of lazy. That's just kind of tiredness. Like, wake up. We need a quarterback. Now, if folks think we don't, who's going to be our quarterback? A free agent? We'll see. But that's not a guarantee that a quarterback wants to be here. The one control we have the draft spot. We have that control. We can't control free agency. We're going to end up doling a lot of money to a free agent quarterback that ain't worth it. So, again, not a shot at Abdul Carter. What I'm saying is, you look over the last 20 years, that's not been a formula for success. It hasn't been picking number one for a defensive end. There's other defensive ends in this draft. We need a quarterback, and we need a quarterback right now. It's on Brian Callahan to draft a guy and get this guy developed to get him to where he needs to go. Not only Mel Kiper and others think that Cam Ward should be the second pick in this draft. That says a lot about Cam Ward. You draft Cam Ward if that's your thought. So I disagree with it for sure. What about you, Jacques?
Man, you cooked. Told you were passionate, boy.
Because it don't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's
and I respect those guys. I respect them. Like, I do. It doesn't mean that I agree with them because we don't have to agree. Right.
So I'm with you, bro. I'm starting to do is I'm starting to ignore mock drafts. And in years past, I didn't do that. Like, I would look at them and I'll be entertained by them. I'm like, okay, this is good entertainment. But this for some reason, this particular draft, you have some Titans fans and then you have the media are doing the same thing. It's like the Titans are not worthy for a quarterback. We're not worthy to get a number one pick in a decent quarterback. No, Titans need to get a bridge quarterback. And I'm gonna say this. I understand the thought process when it comes to why they think like that, because our organization that has not been the best run organization in years. Right? So I get that, but at least give us a shot. So you saying Cleveland and the Giants, and shout out our boy Shaq West, they're better run organizations than we are, right? The Giants had Daniel Jones and had him for years and ain't do nothing. The Cleveland Browns is a trash can of an organization. Like really, right? Yeah. Now I will say Cleveland does have good tools, right? But that's why Myles Garrett wants out of Cleveland, because he knows it's a dead end job at the end of the day, right? So my thing is, I agree 100% with you, dude. When it comes down to these mock drafts, and this year, what I'm starting to do is I'm trying to take the emotion. I think I told you this, Hawk. I'm trying to take the emotion out of it, like getting your heart broke, right? Like if you lose something or somebody or a girlfriend or whatnot. I ain't trying to get my heart broke, right? And either way we go, somebody's gonna be mad, right? If we go do a Carter, people are gonna be mad. If we go quarterback, people are gonna be mad. Hell, if we go offensive line, I think the whole entire organization of Titans fandom is gonna just be like, huh? Like that happened 2 years ago when we got Will Levis. It was the same concept. So I think the reason why, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, I think the reason why people are mocking this way is because the Titans tend to do stupid stuff. Okay. And I get it, right? It's like, okay, they too stupid to pick a quarterback anyway. They're gonna go this direction, so we might as well go a dual Carter. And we are kind of the laughing stock of the league. We got the number one pick, right? We're the worst team. So we're the laughing stock of the league, not just among media pundits, but also with other fans. I pay attention to this stuff. I go into these comment sections and people be like, "Oh, the Titans are stupid. Why would they? Why don't they pick a quarterback?" But they'll tell you this. They'll all say the same thing. Typical Titans. Their organization will do something dumb like that and go get an Abdul Carter or something. And knowing good well, like you said, we need a quarterback. If that happens, right? And I think we might say this for another show. If that happens, what our reaction would be. I'm not going to give that juice and that tea up. But with where their thought process is, I think that's why they're mocking like this, because they know the Titans organization is just not smart, if that makes sense. And unfortunately, we have to report on it. We have to live with it. It's like, okay, hey, so I've come to the realization, hey, Jock, ignore these mock drafts, ignore the rumors. If it didn't come from Mike Berganzi, Callahan, Brock Lesnar, aka Brinker, I'm not listening. Okay, I'm not listening. If it comes from a Twitter account that says he's a scout, he's a scout, or he's this, and he says, hey, I got a rumor that, for example, I don't know if you heard, Rob Gronkowski is supposed to come out of retirement and play with the Broncos. So Rob Gronkowski comes out and says, I don't know. You tell me when I'm supposed to go. Stuff like that. We're in an age of information overload, and you don't know what the truth, you don't know what's truth and what's false. So I feel your passion, bro. I do. And that's why I'm taking the approach. I'm not listening to Mel Kiper, and I'm not listening to none of those. I might give a shot to Brooks and Charles Davis. He does pretty good mock drafts. they have a nice little voice. And then McGinnis, Coach Mike, Coach Mack. Shout out to Coach Mack because he knows his football. He knows ball as well. So it's one of those things, man. So I feel you, bro. Y'all trust me. I feel you. I know you're passionate about this, but I feel you.
Yeah, because it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it don't. It
doesn't. If that's what we need, and we need that, right? We need that.
Exactly. And I think me and you've been screaming from the mountaintops since the beginning of this year. And I think even last year, Hulk, I think we were talking about quarterback. I think we've been talking about quarterback for a while. And I think we've been consistent with what we want, right?
Yes, we have. We've been very consistent since at least November, nonstop.
Yes.
And I understand people thinking we need to build our team. I get it. And I understand some people might think like get a free agent for a year, have Will Levis as a backup or whatever, and then in 2026 get a quarterback. But nothing is guaranteed. You know what is guaranteed? We have the number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. Now, is it a guarantee that Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders would be a success? No, it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee for any quarterback to be a success. Mm-hmm. But that's why you do it. If you have a need, and if you evaluated these players, and most people are evaluating Cam Ward as a number 1 or number 2 pick, bro, you need to entertain that. You need to entertain that because at the end of the day, you look at our roster as far as our quarterback roster, it's terrible. Mm-hmm. We have no answer to quarterback.
No paper, bro.
We don't. When you look at our roster, what's a big need? Right tackle on offense, right tackle, and quarterback.
Yep.
And you're not going to draft the right tackle, pick one. You're not going to do that. And you look on the defensive side, defensive end is not a need.
It's not.
Now, I know Harold Landry's leaving, and very, very, that's going to happen. So that's a hole that you feel, yes. But number 1 in the draft, no. Mm-hmm. You already invested in Jeffrey Simmons and T'Vondre Sweat. Mm-hmm. You've already invested a first-round pick on them and then a second round on T'Vondre Sweat.
Facts.
You gonna do it again on the defensive line?
Man,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm 100% with you, dog. Like you said, with the trading back, we've done that before, right? We've done that. Yep. We've done that before. If you're a newer Titans fan, we've done that before. If you're an older Titans fan, you know we have done that before. And who won that trade? Really, the Rams won that trade. They won a Super Bowl out of that trade, right? What did we get? We didn't get nothing, right? We got Derrick Henry. Cool. I'll take that, right? But out of the rest of everybody, we didn't really win that trade, in my opinion, right? So, like you said, if we trade down, okay, what are we getting, right? Well, if we go a dual Carter, okay, like you said, it's not a need. It's not a need. Like corner, even with I'll throw Travis Hunter out there. Would it be a good pickup? Cool. Callahan even said, hey, we would start him at corner. Yep. And then we would sprinkle him in wide receiver sometimes and da-da-da. But it's not a need. We got L'Jarius Sneed, who should be coming back from injury. Pretty decent. Brownlee did pretty solid. Roger McQuarrie. We defense wasn't the problem last year. It was offense. And what was it, Hulk? Quarterback. And right tackle. Come on, man.
Yep. That was the problem.
Yeah, now you telling me, oh, no, I don't want a quarterback? Yep. Okay. And and I'm going to tell y'all again, people, and I said this on the last show. Everybody's going to the Arch Manning sweepstakes is about to start. Okay. The buzz is already in play. They're gearing up for the media train. They're going to compare him to Josh Allen because he says his idol is Josh Allen. You're going to see him have decent games. He plays in the SEC. He's going to be the lottery ticket for every team that needs a quarterback next year. And if you don't have the draft capital, if you don't have this to move up and you think you're getting a generational talent, because they're going to probably deem him a generational talent too because he's a Manning, right? His name alone is going to get him some smoke. Ain't no guarantee that we're going to get the number 1 pick next year. Ain't no guarantee we'll pick top 5. It's no guarantee. So then when next year, if we don't get a quarterback this year and you're a Titans fan, you sitting there whining and crying because, oh, man, I want a quarterback. I want a quarterback, but you can't get a quarterback because you didn't get one last year. And do not, and I repeat, do not let Cam or Shedeur have some type of success with the teams that they own. Everybody get a pie in the face.
Yep, that's right, bro. The smoke is heavy. Smoke's gonna be heavy.
The smoke, and you talking
we might find the folks that made those comments,
man,
and
bro,
put it on the screen, on the Summer Jam screen.
Call out season. Like you said, it's a Summer Jam screen. That'll be all summer. Summer 2026. You getting exposed. You getting exposed because of certain biases, certain things, right? Again, don't pass up your blessing. When you got a blessing, don't pass it up. And if you pass it up, hey, at this point, I'm throwing my hands up at it, and that's on the Titans. We got streets that need to be fixed here in Nashville, and y'all building $1 billion stadium. You can tear that thing down and fix the streets. That's how I feel about that. So, Hawk, bro, that was elegant. You cooked with that one.
Yep.
I ain't got no more to say, bro.
That's your passion right there, Jock. I know for a fact if we don't dude, if we don't draft one of them quarterbacks, I'm gonna be disappointed for sure. Because to your point, don't let them ball out and our first round pick don't do well. And then the next year we got folks crying about court. Oh my gosh, our shows, we have smoke in our ears. Well, I'm gonna have smoke, you gonna have ether, you gonna have
bro, you might get X-ray. You might get out North Jock on that one. I'm sorry, man.
I hear you, dude.
I'm sorry, Bleacher Report. I might get X-rated on it because again, that's gonna, man. And unfortunately, Abdul Carter, and I'm gonna go back to him. I like the young man. He's got talent. He does. He's very talented. He got a shoulder injury, man. And when I heard that, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, man.
And we know how shoulder injuries are. We know how knee injuries. Shoulder injuries are different. So that kind of concerns me with his career. It's like, okay, hey, can you play a full 17, dog? Like, what are we doing, right? And so that Titans get it right. That's all I got to say. Get it right.
Get it right. Our opinions, we say our opinions like everybody, but it's on you all to make the right decision. It is. It is.
Yep. And we invested. We invested heavily in it. Right. I just don't. Oh, and then another thing that we get out here, Hawk. Berganzi did say they're bringing back Will Levis because they want him to compete with the quarterbacks that they're bringing in.
Yeah.
So if you're not a Will Levis guy, he's coming back, which we expected that. Me and Hawk talked about that.
Right. He should. He's on contract.
He's on contract. He's on contract. And I think next year be his last year on his contract. So it'll be kind of easier for them to kind of smooth on out, do what you got to do, But he'll be coming back. And to sell, if we don't get a quarterback, to sell him and say a Sam Darnold, good luck doing that to the fan base, man. Again, you'll have some that'll love it, and you'll have a lot of people that'll be like, you know what? I'm cool. I'll sit over here. So
yeah. So, well, cool, y'all. All right. Well, listen, we appreciate everybody tuning in to the show, y'all. Hey, Bleacher Report, we thank you as well. For everybody that's tuning in, again, follow me at Lorenzo_the Hawk. You can follow my boy Jacques at Jacques Merrill. We're everywhere, y'all. On YouTube, what's up, YouTube? Follow us at Tennessee Titans Weekly. Make sure to hit that like button. Hit the fire button on this as well, too. Follow us on Apple, Spotify, Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on TikTok at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. We're on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're everywhere covering the Titans, man. That's what we do, man.
Yes, sir. And when you do follow those platforms, please cut your notification bells on. It lets you know when we go live. We post any content or anything like that. Also, if you lost us on Bleacher Report, please resubscribe. Bleacher Report did do an upgrade to their app, so just FYI. So if you don't see us and you missed the live, go resubscribe. That's all you got to do. And again, thank you, Bleacher Report, for the opportunity.
Yep.
Again, Titans, don't mess it up. It's probably gonna be my new slogan. Don't mess it up. # don't mess it up. Hawk, take us home.
All right. Well, listen, we hope you all have a great rest of your day and week as well. You can catch us back next Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we'll be here, man, talking Titans. We're going to talk a lot about the draft, y'all. Just, dive in. We got the number 1 pick in the draft. That's what we need to talk about. That is, we're trying to build for our future, and we're all here for it for sure. So, well, as we always say, and as we always do, Jacques, facts.
No paper.